What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and I've been wondering, is Nike React the best cushion? Let's find out. Thanks so much for tuning in today guys. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't yet. But with all that being said, let's get into it. So about a month ago, Nike unveiled their brand new cushion setup, Nike React, which is basically a brand new kind of foam midsole. The reason for Nike React was that athletes were asking for a cushion that was not only responsive and offered a lot of impact protection, but was also lightweight and durable. So Nike spent the last couple years trying to come up with this cushion, and of course what they came up with was Nike React, and in the next week or so we're gonna get our first couple shoes that actually implement it. Jordan Brand invited me out to the Nike Hyperdunk 2017 and Jordan Superfly 2017 unveiling, and also gave me a pair to try out. So I've been playing in this pair for about a month now. I'm ready to let you guys know my thoughts. The first thing to keep in mind is that each athletic sneaker brand has a couple different tiers of their cushions. With Nike, of course, you've got Air being the most expensive and apparently the most impact resistant. And the next level down, you've got Lunarlon, which is their main foam cushioning. It provides really great feedback for runners and for some basketball. It's a pretty comfortable cushion, but it leaves some things to be desired. And of course, Nike's lowest level tier is their Phylon and EVA midsoles. It's just a standard foam midsole, nothing special, nothing crazy, but it is really cheap and it does provide a lot of court feel. For Adidas, Boost is their top of the line cushion. It's the most expensive, it provides the most impact protection. Of course, if you guys have worn Boost at all, you know it's crazy comfortable. However, the downside is it doesn't provide the most court feel, but for some people that doesn't really matter. Stepping down from Boost, you've got Bounce cushion, and just like Nike Lunarlon, it's also a foam cushion. It's pretty responsive and surprisingly soft. I actually really love playing basketball in Bounce because it does provide a lot of court feel, but also gives you just enough impact protection so you don't feel like you're hitting the ground too hard. Of course, it's their slightly cheaper offering and it doesn't have that cult following that Boost has, but it's still a good cushion. And of course on that base level you've got your standard EVA foam, nothing special, nothing too crazy, it is what it is. So just to give you guys an idea of where React sits on this spectrum of cushions, I would think that it's actually Nike's replacement for Lunarlon, and so far while wearing this shoe both casually and on the court, that's sort of what it feels like. However, although it is a similar cushion to Lunarlon and Bounce, I actually really prefer it. The first thing I noticed when wearing these Superflies was that the React cushion almost felt like memory foam. Now granted, it isn't as soft as memory foam, and I don't think I'd want it to be because your feet would almost feel like they're sinking into the shoes, which I don't think anyone would like. But whenever you put your foot into the shoe, it does almost feel like the shoe is molding to your foot. That was something that I found, at least for me, was unique of all the cushions that I tested. Currently my go-to basketball shoe is the Crazy Explosive Low, and I don't really jump a lot. I'm more of a point guard sort of position, and I'm obviously not that big of a guy, so I don't really need this kind of cushion, but there is something about feeling like you're running on a cloud that's kind of nice. However, I will say that Bounce really does sacrifice on the court feel. That's something I'm not a huge fan of, but it doesn't bother me to a point where I don't want to wear the shoes because it's just really comfortable. As for React, I feel like this may actually be the perfect cushion setup for me. And that's not to say that I don't prefer the overall comfort of Boost, because there's just something about Boost that hasn't really been replicated in cushions yet. But the reason I say React might actually be the perfect cushion for me is that it actually offers just enough impact protection so I don't ever feel like my foot's hitting the ground too hard. It's very responsive, and it's surprisingly light. So if I have to put React head to head with Boost, because that's what a lot of you guys have been asking for, I would say that Boost is definitely better for bigger guys who need a lot of impact protection and don't need as much court feel, whereas React is really great for offering some impact protection, actually more than some. It is a pretty great cushion. It does offer a good amount of impact protection, more than I expected. However, you do get some court feel, and it is surprisingly light. As for responsiveness, React doesn't feel as springy as Boost, and that's something I missed a little bit on the Superflies. With these, it almost feels like whenever I jump, I'm gonna bounce. But one thing to keep in mind is that Boost, of course, is the more premium cushion, so it is gonna be more expensive. React seems to be one of those cushions they're putting on the more budget models, obviously the Superfly, so that's something to keep in mind. My go-to basketball sneaker before the Crazy Explosive was the Kyrie 2, which was a great sneaker all around, except for the fact that the cushion was really lacking. The React and the Jordan Superfly 2017, in my opinion, offers me the same amount of court feel, but also giving me just that much more impact protection. In fact, pretty significantly more impact protection. I guess a more fair comparison would be between React and Bounce. Bounce is a very similar cushion, however I definitely prefer it to Lunarlon. It's very responsive, it's got some pretty solid impact protection, and it's not too heavy. The weakness in Bounce is where I think React actually excels. They're both pretty similar when it comes to responsiveness, however when it comes to cushion, I think React takes the cake. As I mentioned before, React almost feels like it has some sort of memory foam qualities to it. Bounce is still pretty comfortable, but there's just something about the way this cups your foot and the way it absorbs the impact that I just really prefer over Bounce. As for weight, it's definitely less dense than Bounce, and I think that's one of the reasons why I think it's a lighter cushion. I'm not totally sure. I'd have to take the cushion off both of these shoes and weigh them. But overall, the shoes feel pretty similar in weight. And that's actually kind of interesting to me because I know the upper on the Superfly is definitely made of heavier, denser materials. It's made of this suede material. Whereas on the D Lillard 2, it's mostly a mesh upper. So that leads me to believe that maybe what's making that weight difference is the cushion, but I don't know for sure. Overall, guys, I'm pretty impressed with Nike's React cushioning. I can't really say that for everybody React is better than Boost or than Air, and that's mainly because it just has a different use case. It's really a cushion for people that prefer more ground feel or court feel when you're playing basketball or when you're running. And I think when I'm running, I would actually prefer this cushion because Boost gets a little mushy on me, and especially over time, the more I wear it, the mushier it seems to get. I haven't owned these long enough to speak to the durability, but so far so good. I will say though, out of all the foam cushions on the market, React is my favorite. So that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. It was pretty much just a general overview of all the cushions on the market and how React stacks up against what's already out there. Like I said, I'm pretty impressed by Nike's React, and I'm really excited to see it in other sneakers, especially running sneakers. That's something I'd really like to try. But guys, make sure to leave a comment in the comment section down below letting me know what your favorite cushion is and if you're planning to try Nike React for yourself. Also, make sure to stay tuned for my Jordan Superfly 2017 performance review that'll be coming up in the next couple of weeks. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to Seth Fowler if you want to see more content just like this, and follow me on all other forms of social media. The links will be in the description below.